You're watching PowerNation.
Today on Music City Trucks, we decide it's time to cut ourselves a break and have a little fun as we bring in a brand new project built just for that.
Yeah, we got a new flavor in the shop, so stay tuned for this UTV on MCT. Nothing cooler than an old pickup, am I right?
Underneath all this dirt, there's probably a pretty good truck. We have worked on a ton of different trucks this season, and we've decided that since we're getting close to the end, we wanted to do something a little bit different. So a few months back, I took Joel out to pick this thing up and cause some general mayhem on the best test drive that I've ever been on. All right, so we've been working really hard this season, and I figured it's about time we just have a little bit of fun, right?
I'd go for some R&R.
Well, as you can see, there's a lot of toys around here, but there's only one that we're taking home. It's this little guy right here.
Man, look at that. These old Generals are actually kind of cool. I don't know if I'd consider this a truck or not, though.
I mean, it is, technically it does. It's got the bed on it, 4 wheels, 4-wheel drive. It's
truck?
Technically a truck. I would say it's more of a truck than an El Camino.
Slightly used, of course.
Oh yeah, but it's already bought and paid for, so not much we could do now.
I gotta take you off the joint bank account. You gonna take it for a spin?
I mean, yeah, we kind of have to.
You've drove one of these, right?
No, actually.
Seatbelts. All right, if you're gonna wreck us, hit something hard. I don't want to limp away from this.
You always got to be a little more careful going down than you do coming up. So we'll just take this as an opportunity to kind of figure this trail out a little bit.
Yeah, let's call it that. Oh, jeez. It's thick back here.
Yeah, this thing crawls pretty good, I'll give it that.
This reminds me of those old Chevrolet commercials with Bob Seger. Like a rock?
Like a lot of rocks down here.
Thought she smoothed out a bit.
Oh yeah. It did for a second. Let's see.
There's a sign up there. Trespassers will be SH something. I can't read the rest of it. I think we better take this opportunity to turn around.
Yeah, I don't think there's anywhere else to go from here.
Well, I'm also starting to hear banjo music.
Oh boy, yeah, we gotta go. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do.
Tree.
Ugh. Goodbye, tree.
Ow. I think that dude should have gave you a discount on the price on this thing for landscaping duties.
Yeah, we're definitely re-clearing some parts of this trail for him.
You know, they say nature's supposed to relax you, but...
I'm very relaxed right now. Are you not? There we go. See? Just a nice, easy little trail ride. Now, if you're not convinced yet, I think you ought to take it for a ride this time.
Yeah, let Daddy show you how it's done.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you preachy bang bang, chee chee bang bang, we love you. And our preachy bang bang, chee chee bang bang loves us too. I oh, chee chee bang bang, Wayne pants, chee chee bang bang bang. I'm fine, friend. Chee bang bang, chee chee bang bang, chee bang bang, yeah!
Not bad for a rookie, I'll give you that.
Woo! Chatty! Woo-hoo-hoo! Woo-hoo! Hey, Eric, you gotta feed some speed to your ride once in a while. You know what I mean?
Yeah? On the road again. An unexpected performance from Mr. McMillan.
That, my friends, is how you do it.
Yeah, a little bit more. Perfect, go.
I don't think we even needed the ramps, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I think this might be the smallest thing that's ever been on this trailer, especially for us. Whew. Yeah, we're good back here. You crank it down as tight as you need to.
All right, you good, buddy?
Yep.
Yeah, let's go get something cool to drink.
Yeah. Coming up, we filter out the noise and up the exhaust. Well, we've got our UTV back in the shop, and as you guys just watched, we've already realized that this thing is a great time. But we've got a few upgrades in mind that are going to crank that fun factor up to 11. But before we get to work, we're going to tell you what exactly this thing is. This 2019 Polaris General is designed to chew up the trail, but we've got plans to up its rank. Now, the bed's not king size, but it can haul up to 600 pounds. It's also got tons of lighting, solid aluminum wheels, and fairly decent tires. It's got dual A-arm suspension with Fox shocks, and the interior will keep you comfy on most any terrain. But you know our motto, go big or go home.
A vehicle's exhaust system is another way for you to express your personality. Myself, I've always loved the sound of Flowmaster mufflers. I've got them on my own vehicles. And when I saw Flowmaster made a muffler kit for this UTV, I said, that's the one we gotta have. So let's get this factory one off. We'll get the Flowmaster one on, provide better sound and a more free-flowing exhaust that's gonna provide us more power. You got a couple of springs that help dampen the muffler so it can actually move around. Get those springs off, a couple of bolts. We're gonna reuse those springs, so make sure if they go flying, you go pick them up. All right, there's the old one. And it's just got these rubber hangers on the bottom that sits on the bottom right here. And then we've got our flange up top. Hook the springs back up. All right, now the muffler is on. Only thing left is our fancy little heat shield so you don't burn yourself if you're having to walk the back side of the vehicle. Did I mention my dream I had last night? I didn't? No. Well, I dreamed I was a muffler, and I woke up exhausted. I know.
We mentioned waiting to install the turbo kit until we could verify the health of this engine. And one of the best places to start with that is with your oil filter. Now, if that is an OEM factory filter that's on there, it is way overdue on a change. Now, we can't say that for sure because we don't have maintenance history on this, but just to be safe, we're gonna go ahead and check everything out and make sure that we install a quality filter to replace it. That's where the guys from WIX come in at. So we're gonna check one out, and looking at it, you've got quality steel construction for the actual casing, good quality rubber for both your seal and your anti-drain back valve, good thick metal construction here on the connection point, but it's more than just what's on the outside of these things that counts. And Mike's got our old filter, and he's gonna be cutting it open so that we can see just what it's been catching.
Yeah, like Eric was saying, if you're concerned or just curious on how the health of the inside of the engine looks, well, an easy thing to do is cut the old filter apart and see what type of dirt, debris it may be in there. So we've got our old filter, and this is just a filter cutter. It's a little blade. It's gonna pivot, tighten that up, and we're gonna spin it around kind of like a can opener. If you crank it down too much, it just dents the exterior and makes it hard to get the element out of. Just starts to cut on the inside of that right there. All right, now we can pull the top back. As we look at this filter, it has a anti-drain back valve as well. You can pull the element out, and obviously you're still gonna have some oil in it. But we can look at this, you can see the pleats have started to deteriorate, but first initial look, I don't see any major particles, so that's good. Just pull these pleats apart. I don't see any major debris, so that's good news for our engine. This filter looks like it's stood the test of time, so we want to continue that with a high quality WIX filter for the replacement on our UTV. We're ready to install our new WIX oil filter on our UTV. First thing we want to do, put a little bit of new oil on our seal. That way when you go and tighten it down, it doesn't bind up and roll off and potentially leak. Now there's some debate about, do you put oil in the filter when you go and install it? Well, this one's pretty simple for us on that decision because the way it's mounted like this, if we put oil in the filter, it's just gonna run out when we install it. So this one's going on dry. All right, filter's on. Now we're ready for some oil. Up next, we tackle a little bit of everything to get our UTV trail ready.
Well, we are moving right along on our UTV project, and of course your brakes are one of the most important factors when it comes to safety. So we phoned up the fellas over at EBC, and they sent us their SV Sintered Copper Alloy Series brake pads and UTV X rotors. Now, with the teardown pretty much finished already, we're at the point where we can go ahead and replace our brake pads. First step to do that is we got to get this plastic cover off of our caliper. The next step is going to be to get our wheel hub assembly put back on. But before we can do that, we've got to get the hub reattached to the actual steering knuckle. We're going to take some 1500 grit sandpaper and we're going to get this cleaned up so that everything slides together nice and smooth. With that cleaned up, I'm going to go grab a little bit of lube to spray on here to help it slide together easy and keep it protected. Clean up any overspray. All right, got that down. Now, before we put that on, we're gonna grease our axle splines. And it doesn't take much. You don't wanna overdo it. Just enough so you cover all the splines and this axle won't have a chance to get seized up on here. We're gonna start by getting our axle put in. And once you've got your bolt in, you can just let that hang. Now, we will be replacing these nuts because they are nylock, which means they are single use. But for right now, we're gonna stick these on just to make sure that there's no chance of these bolts coming out and dropping the control arm or the hub assembly. Now we can bring our caliper over. Make sure you've got your pads spread all the way out. So I guess I'm gonna get this buttoned up, put our axle nut back in, new cotter pins, get everything tightened down. Then we can move on to wheels and tires. With all of our brakes finished up and a quick, easy lift kit installed, it's time for us to move on with tires. We could have gone and got another set of UTV tires, but we want to make sure that this thing's going to be heavy duty and we don't have anything to worry about on all four corners. So we called up the crew over at General Tire to see what they had for options that would work for our build. So we decided to go with the 32 by 10.5 General Grabber X3s. Anytime you're selecting tires for something that's going to go off-road at all, tread is going to be one of the most important things to look at. And you could be a caveman about it and just get the most aggressive looking one, but it's really important to understand how the tread works. And when it comes to tread selection, there's a lot more to it than just how deep is it and how big are the blocks. Your tire tread is made up of four main parts. You've got ribs, which are going to be the main sections that are made up of your tread blocks, which is each individual raised piece of rubber. In between all of your tread blocks, you've got what are known as grooves. Now, the grooves are what's going to eject rocks, dirt, water, whatever it is that you're driving over. And the last main part of your tire tread is what's known as sipes, and that's all of these little squiggles you see inside of the tread blocks. Now, the purpose of siping is to increase the grip of your tire by adding more edges to the tread. And what that does is it helps you to increase your grip and traction in wet, snowy, and icy conditions. Now, as your tread blocks get bigger, there is less of a need for siping because another function of it is to help siphon water away from the center of the tire and reduce hydroplaning. All right, whew. Now that is a huge improvement. We'll go grab the other three, get them put on.
Now, our battery is already showing signs of deterioration. So when we're out in BFE, well, we don't want that thing to DIE. So we reached out and got this Duralast Gold battery from the AutoZone Pro website so it doesn't leave us stranded. We're gonna go ahead and loosen up our negative because it's grounded. If we touch some other part of the metal around the chassis, there's not gonna ground out, not gonna be an issue there. And now we can take off our positive. All right, let's see if it'll let us break that loose. In with the new one. Around our cables here. Looks good. Hold down clamp. Okay, got that tight. Now we'll connect our terminals and then we're ready to power up.
Well, our fluid levels are all looking good, but the condition of our brake fluids got me a little bit concerned. But that's okay because we planned ahead for this just in case, and when we ordered the pads and rotors from our friends over at EBC, we also had them send us some of their .5 brake fluid. You might not think that dirty brake fluid is that big of a deal, but it does raise some potential concerns that can cause a lot of issues. Dirty brake fluid can cause issues like clogged lines, diminished performance, and even potentially causing your brake fluid to boil due to a lowered boiling point. And that's one of the biggest advantages to changing out your old .3 fluid for a .4, 5, or 5.1. That higher boiling temperature is gonna make sure you don't have to worry about that at all. All right, well, I think with that, we're just about ready for a pre-trip. All right, let's run this winch up first. And good.
All right. How about check some of these lights out?
All
See
right.
what we got.
Whoa.
I think
Yep,
those work.
that works.
Those right there.
Okay, those ones are good.
How about the headlights here?
Yep, we got headlights.
We got one more on the front.
Yep, those
There
are
we
good.
go.
All right, we'll check
And then
back.
the rear lights. See what we got.
Yeah. Oh, whoa.
Hey.
Again.
While
Trying
you're-
to blind me
While you're
there.
back there, how about the brake lights?
Yeah, we're good on those.
All right, that looks good. I'm gonna go get the truck and trailer, hook it up, and get ready to go.
All right, I'm gonna run around and just check all the fluids real quick, and then I'll meet you out there.
Sounds good.
Coming up, we put our UTV upgrades to the test at the ultimate outdoor playground. Well, we have got our Polaris General out here at Wooley's Off-Road Park in Linville, Tennessee, because we've got to test out all these upgrades we've made, and I can't think of a better place to do it.
Yeah, you know, as a drag racer, acceleration is my bread and butter, but we're not gonna have any of that today. It's gonna be about going slow and navigating those obstacles in front of us. So let's jump in and try it out.
Right, seatbelts.
Yep, I know who's driving.
Oh, come on now, I'm not that bad. All right,
Here we go.
here we go. Off to a good start here.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so we got a little bit of rub. I guess that's to be expected because we did do the lift kit and the big tires, but we didn't get the extended A-arms and all that. And I still got some ruts that we're gonna have to straddle through. One thing I'm noticing for sure that we got over when we picked it up is a lot more ground clearance from that lift kit and the tires.
Yeah.
But I'm also noticing that the gears in this thing, we didn't add portals or anything like that. And these gears don't seem to be a very big fan of these big old tires.
The gears will give it, definitely help the low end on that. The bigger tires, we'd look at giving more speed, but for what this is, yeah, we need a little bit something different to match that up. Oh, excuse me.
Ugh. Can't tell if it's last night's chili or the tire rub.
Tire rub, yep.
So I know, Mike, you're a racing guy, right? You work with the NHRA and all that. You mentioned you know drag racing is really your thing. Have you done a whole lot of off-roading in your time?
Back when I was younger, the high school days, we'd take our cars and trucks. That was before everybody had smartphones and stuff too, so you could get away with stuff and people not really know about it. Nowadays,
no video evidence.
Yeah,
that was back when all those memories had to just live in your head.
Yep. But I've always loved the adventure aspect of it, just getting out and not really having a plan, just go riding, and just see where this trail takes you.
Not a bad day at the office, I reckon.
Just let it rip. Today we brought the UTV out here. We really tested some of the components, the modifications, the upgrades. Whenever you do a build like that, you really got to put it to the test to validate your progress. And we found some good stuff. We found some areas of improvement, and we can change that down the road when we keep on working on this project back at the shop.
Well, Mike, you said it's been a while since you've really done a whole lot of anything like this, so let me say you take a turn in the driver's seat.
I've been waiting for you to say that. Let's go. All right, well, hold on.
All right, here we go.
Roads, where we're going, we don't need roads.
See, at this point, the tire rub is a safety feature. It's keeping us from going too fast.
There we go.
Oh, You're a natural.
My grave digger is coming out of me.
Nothing beats the feeling of a pedal hitting the floor.
What?
Doesn't
Hit the
matter.
floor? Yeah, imagine this thing a little bit more power. Woo, doggy.
Yeah,
You're gonna see your lunch again.
I don't think that burger would taste too good the second time around. As far as today goes, it went about as well as it could have. I mean, we got out here first thing this morning. We identified a few problem areas, some things we can improve on. I definitely think we're not done with this thing by any means. Honestly, the best thing about getting this out here today was giving Mike his first opportunity to get out here to Woolies and have some fun on an off-road payoff, put the hammer down, and just have a really good time doing it.
All right, man. Well, we brought this thing out here. We enjoyed some of the modifications that we've done so far, and we also found some limits.
I mean, there is still a ton of room for upward growth on this thing. Unfortunately, we can't sit out here and play around all day. We gotta get this thing back to the shop. You remember the way out of here, right?
I think so. Find the sun and hang a right.
Something like that.
There we go. Here we go. Vroom.
I don't think you need to make the noises with your mouth. I'm pretty sure the machine does it.